לא כיסים שום, אתה אהרון גקל את השום. איזה דיבורים שכתוב עליך. טוב. ברשוס מורנו הרב, ברשוס החבר מהיקורים, we're here Orle Chav Gimel Teves. It's the 50-year-old site of מורנו הרב, ולעזר מרדכי בן גדליה אהרון, שהיו דברים לא נשמע סוי. And they don't know where to start because each one of us who knew the Rav feels like we owe our life, our spiritual life to the Rav. He had the ability to put so much of his own hanhaga without saying too many words, just because he wanted to be like him. He was so much a big ashpa on everyone, each one of us that saw him. והאהבה, התקשרוש between him and us, and each one of us, was Baruch Hashem something that הודו להשם כי טוב, כי לעולם חסדוי. A person, when he has an Aveda of his father and Aveda of his Rav, his Rav's Aveda is Kodemes la'Aveda shel Aviv, because Aviv, his father brought him to the Olam Hazeh, physically, body, but his Rav, Mevio lechai Olam Haba, Mele, he's obligated to the Rav more than he's obligated to his own father. Pashtas we saw by Elisha Navi, when Eliyahu is mistalek besara Shamayma, so he calls out Avi, Avi, Rechev Yisrael, Avi, Avi, my father, my father. Tzaddikim, they're also called. We are children to the tzaddikim, like they're given so much to us. So there's a few stories that I have on the list, but before that, maybe we can see the Torah Ein Beis, the Chelek Sheni B'Likutei Moharan. Rabbeinu brings down that L'rios et atzum atzadik o emes ugam ken davar godol miyod. When a person is able to see himself, to connect himself with the tzaddik o emes, it's a big, big thing. We all were able to see the tzaddik, to feel his presence. Bevadek shezochim lishmo mipiv Torah, when we zoch to hear Torah from his mouth, uma'ale yesera, it's a high, it's a great level. But even if you don't listen don't hear Torah from the Rav, only seeing him alone, שזוכה לראות את עצמו עם הצדיק, הוא גם כן טוב מאוד. כי על ידי שרואים את עצמו עם הצדיק, when we see ourselves with the tzaddik, then על ידי זה מקבלים גדולה. The tzaddik is able to give us gdula, greatness. And what's the gdula? Is the yanova, the shiflus. Ikar gdula is shiflus. So the siman that you're able to be miskarev to the tzaddik emes is if you have shiflus, you have anova. The Rav spoke once, it was 7 years before he was niftar, to some chevre who came to Tzfat to the shul. They were from Ramat HaGolan, the Chardalnikim, people who were like the Mizrahi type, but Mischazkim a lot. He spoke to them a lot about this Torah. I remember I was there present, I wrote some marks from that very moment. It was Parashat Mishpatim, Tafshin Beis, 12 years ago. And the Rav spoke to them about the Einaim, about the eyes. How much is important to Shmiras Einaim, to be able to make our eyes so holy, not to waste our eyes on a piece of junk. He says if you have a little piece of chicken, right? So nobody wants to become fleshik for a little piece of chicken. You have a steak or whatever. Say that. אבל ככה, לא להתבשר. So the same thing, the whole world is calling with all his shtuyot, all his nonsense, all his narishkeit. And why should we, the bettler, the blind, bettler Iver, the blind bettler, says, Kol ha'olam kula ino shaveh. It's not worthwhile for me to give it even one look. And so that was the Rav's idea, to become Kodesh, to be Mekadesh. The Rav spoke, those days we used to walk with him along from the shul. I maybe mentioned it once. He spoke that there was the road, the derech from the shul to his house takes 10 minutes. Friday night after finished davening, it took like 40 minutes, an hour, just walking slowly through the alleys of the Ir HaKodesh, of the old city. He would stop for 10 minutes over gazing up Shimba Yochai, just looking and thinking. And we were just like a bunch of Talmidim around him, walking like a Chabura. So one time he said that if a person is Mekadesh his hands, to that extent of Kedusha, when he raises his hands to Shamayim, he can be poel with his hands. The person Mekadesh his mouth. And by Torah, by menorah, Rabbi Rabbeinu talks about what is Mekadesh, his menorah, pnei menorah, לא להוציא שקר, בכלל, לדבר לא לבין דברי בטלים. So when you Mekadesh your mouth, so when you open your mouth with a request to Hashem, you poel with your mouth. When you Mekadesh your eyes, I can remember that minute, he says, when you look, ככה, he looked up to Shemayim. So when you one look to Shemayim, you're able to be poel with your request. It's worthwhile to not to be a part of this Olam Hazeh. And he spoke to them about והיו עיניך רואה את מראיך. על ידי זה מקבלים גדולה. He talks about Torah and Beis, the whole thing. And he says that to be מיושבי בייס המדרש, מוכרח להיות שומר עיניים. It's שווה, it's כדאי to be שומר עיניים. And he brought the word from Rab Gedalia, that the one who's not able to keep his eyes holy, just like he's putting seed. What is this seed? This the white material which burns. Plaster.
Oh, seed,
Yeah. It's like putting seed in your eyes. If you're just looking at the wrong things. And he says you can never be zoiche for Torah and Anova and to be in the Havle Olam Hazeh. It's either this or that. He says once it was possible to guard our eyes. You come to the Beis Midrash, that's it. Tevas Noach, that's the words he used. And it's enough, they must speak. Beis HaMidrash, no obstacles, no botherings. But today, he says, in our generation, we got this nisayon, that with all the machshirim, all the kelim, even in the Beis Midrash, you can see all the shmutz of the world. But he said, if our generation received that nisayon, it's a siman, that's his own words, what he said that night. It's a siman that he can overcome. It's only depends on the will, of the ratzon. Where is our inner ratzon? Where are we? Efo anachnu munachim baratzon hapnimi, the inner ratzon that we have. And he says, kol ha-chochma, all the wisdom person has, is depending on how much he's taking care of his eyes. Rabbi Freund, Shlita, the matana, the second matana in a row, the third matana in a row of the dynasty of the Kenig family. Before I used to say about the Rav Zatzal that when there were many tzaddikim would not see women and advise women or at all, but the Rav saw and spoke with women like regular. So before I mentioned that by the Rav, when he saw a woman, he had no difference if she is a man or she is a woman. He never saw into the outfit. He saw what's inside, and it really doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. But he saw it. But what he said, we're still under that category of having. So the einaim, the eyes, are very, very, very holy. And one more thing, about the eyes, it's all connected with the einaim. Rabbeinu brings in Torah Samech Zayin, Chelek Sheni, kashe silukam shel tzadikim, kiflaim kechurban Beis HaMikdash. The tzaddikim, when they depart from this world, for us, it's so hard, like double losing the Beis HaMikdash. And on the Beis HaMikdash says, Eini, you're the mine. Again, it's very connected, the Einaim and the Tzaddikim. Tzaddikim are called, the Chazal, description for Chazal, for the Tzaddikim are Einei Ha'eda, the eyes of the community, of the assembly, of the congregation. Because Al Yadam, by those Tzaddikim, Niftachim Einaim, we're able to see, our eyes are opening wide. They teach us how to look at the world on the true, genuine way, the right way of looking. And his face, remember, was shining, and always his eyes were always loving so much. So, what he gave us is the real opening of the eyes is to see ourselves, listakel al atzmoi, that when a person is zoichet and described to tzaddik amiti, he is able to inspect, to look within. As Yoeli spoke about it, that the Rav was not talking Musar. He learned Musar from him. It's like an open book that teaches Musar. The anava, the Rav had tremendous anava. There was once a story about one of the girls, seminar girls, who missed the bus to go to the seminar in Chatzor, the seminar gur, and the Rav was she was coming to the Rav's house to do some cleanings, and she understood the Rav is going to give a shiur in her seminar in Chatzor. So she asked the Rav, Bepshitus, is it possible I can join the Rav to the seminar where she has to go to school? So Rav says, I don't know, I'm not the driver, I have to ask Chaim Shulem. So he asked Chaim Shulem, and Chaim Shulem says, yes, it looks good. And she came in, and when the Menahel of the seminar Rabbi Israel Hershkovitz, he was the third, he came to be Menahel for the seminar Be'er Miriam in Chatzor after two Menahalim who were Niftarim, who passed on during the Tafkid as a Menahel of the seminar. So the Rebbe Migur, the Ger Rebbe told him that he should be the third one to continue to be the Menahel. He says, Rebbe, you gotta promise me that I'm not gonna be Niftar. If not, I'm not getting to the position. He's very sharp. He's a very sharp person, very deep. Magachir, my sons, it's mamash ben adam yuchad, very special. So the Ger Rebbe gave him a bracha that he's not gonna. So when he opened the door for the Rav to come to the seminar to give his shiur, there's a COVID and the Rav is leaving, and then from the back seat just runs out the girl from his seminar. He didn't know what to do. What he did. He said, "What's Maya Sapo? What is she doing in the car?" So the Rav said, "You know, she needed a lift to go there seminar, so we took her in the car." So Bisrael said, if this was the case by any other Chassidus, they would put this girl under the wheels. But that's what he said. I'm not quoting it. But B'chol Mikra he used to say that when an incident comes and it shows that we have to be like angry, we have to put our kas, right? Why do we fall into kas? Oh yeah, when I just got into Tzfat, it was Tafshin Samech Aleph, was 91? 90.
2001.
2001.
Samech Aleph was
2001. It was very hard for me to keep the temper, the anger. So I asked the Rav, as a Bachur, says, Kvod Rav, Efshar lo lichos? Is it possible at all in this world not to get mad, not to fall into kas? He said to me, yes. And it was hard for me to chap it, to get it, but still, I believed, and I saw it's possible. Not by me, but when I saw by him, by the tzaddikim, it's possible. So the Rav said that when something, a reason, teaches us and forces us to come and get the kas, the kas outside. So the Rav says, "Lo mukhrach." It's not necessary to put your anger over here. And the Raya, he said, that some other people going through the same nisayon that you go through at that time, and they're not getting into kas. They're not falling into that anger. So that's a raya that you don't have to. It's, as in Rebbe Freim also tells us about the attribute of kas. He said it's a question of bchira. It's not that we fall into circumstances and A, B, C, D, and then the must thing that has to come next is pulling our anger outside. B'chlalo, it's a nisayon. Every second, it's a nisayon. There was his humbleness. There were times in Tzfas that things were not like easygoing or tranquil. I say the people were a little bit like some of the disagreements we had. The Rav went through that the big machlekes was twice. One at 2001, and the other one is further on. And there was one of the Anshe Shlomenu from Breslov. He writes books, and is very, very well common books. And when we were organizing the books in the kollel, there were some of his books in the sifriya, in the library in the kollel. So immediately we took the books to the Rav. It says, for the Rav, that's EFSHAR, the past, impossible for these books, this foreign to be in this Rav is talking so much against you. The Rav Amar, Lama? Why should you want to take these books, this foreign away from the shelf? Leave it on the shelf. Mikol ben Adam efshar lilmod mashu. From every human, from everyone you can learn something. he never connected the kina, even if he was supposed to get it out of the Sifriya. So I remember also another thing when the Rav, also there's a Bachur who was really, saying everything he wants, everything on his chest, right away, talks it out, even questions which are not to be asked. Some question of teasing. He once says to the Rav, Mechila mekvoda mechaverim, he says to the Rav, how can I know that you, the Rav, is not one of the mefursamim shel sheker? Because I don't know, it's a tipshus or pshitus. The Rav says, תתפלל על זה. טוב, תתפלל, טוב, תתפלל. And later on, when this Bachur got married, so the Rav was, for sure he was there, writing the ketubah, and the chosun sits, the father, everybody sits around, and they write the name of the chosun. So the Rav says, what is your name? He says his name, the Rav says, no. יש לך עוד שם, you have another name. He says, I don't know that I have another name. I never knew another name that I had. So he said, ask your father. Your father is in the chasana. Go ahead and ask him. So he went ahead, he asked his father. He said, yes, I actually really have another name that we forgot about, never knew about it, never had a chance. Everything was see-through. Everything was shakuf. You could see things, and without any not giving you the feeling that he knows something, just very simple manner, but you were just like an open book in his presence. Another issue was very, very, very strong about is Breslov Chassidim or people in general, do you need a Rav? In the world, people know they need a Rav, but Breslov Mishum Ma, from some reason, the thing is that the Ashkafa in the general Olam of Breslov, that you don't need a Rav, physics, flesh and blood person to talk to. If you have a question, if you have a doubt, you go for your Yitbodedus, and you pour out your heart to Hashem. He says, what's the way I should go? I have no... And Hashem puts your ideas into your head. Honestly, this is the way to connect to Hashem on a very basic, simple, straightforward level. To ask Hashem, what do I need to do in this world? Mikol Makom, the Rav held that you need a Rav, physical Rav, that will be your mentor, your madrich, your instructor, and there was the person once, they came to us, the Rav, if, האם בכלל צריך Rav? Do you need a Rav? So the Rav told him, Rav Zatzal told that person, he says in the Mishnah, Aseh lecha Rav. So the guy was saying, yes, Aseh lecha Rav, that talks about halachically. You have to, to make sure that you're doing the right thing, according to the right shita that you want to follow. So the Rav says, V'lav kal v'chomer. If by halacha, there are so many written svarim and so many written deas, it all seems very clear. You have to choose your way, you choose your path, and you're good to go. And still, the Mishnah said, Aseh lecha Rav, lo kol sheken, but you try and find your way in the wilderness of life, what to do exactly, when to do, if to do. So another person asked him once, he said to him, why do I'll do my own research, and I'll find my way. So the Rav was not. He says, "No, what? Lama? Why do you need to go to work it out yourself? You have yesh lecha kan Rav. You have a Rav over here who's mekabel from his Rav, who's mekabel from his Rav all the way to Rabbeinu, Reb Nachman. Enjoy it, use it for your own benefit." And he was very much talking all the time against the Shkafa not to have a Rav. And Baruch Hashem shelo ishbis lanu goyel. And I remember the day the Rav was niftar. It was Monday morning, and in Trisk, the Rav was niftar. Actually, it was taken to the ambulance at I think about 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. We started davening at 7 at Trisk, and after davening there was a silence. Shul was silent. Usually with like a record, but we all know that something is going on. And then the shmua came in that the Rav was niftar. And I personally realized that, and I heard this goes on to many people who lose their Rav, that mamash kipshutoi, the sun is not going to shine tomorrow. Mamash, just like that. That the world has lost, my personal world has lost his teacher, his father, his mother, his mentor, his Rav, everything. And it was the request was that, so immediately after the Rav was niftar, they brought him to Trisk, and the Rav was lying on the table in that shul that he loved so much, that he built from zero. That shul in Trisk that is like a different dimension in life. It's another planet. You would come to daven in Trisk at 7 a.m. It's like the davening is slow, benachat, an hour from Hoidu to Oleinu L'Shabeach. Just as a side, I want to just insert a question I once asked the Rav: when are you supposed to take off tefillin shel Rashi? So he says to me very simple: Achrei Oleinu L'Shabeach. Finish Oleinu, then you take off your tefillin shel Rashi, and then you can put your tefillin Rabbeinu Tam. So Trisk was a different planet, a different dimension in life. And the Rav was on the table, wrapped with the talis. And I wanted so much to look at his face, just to unwrap the tachrichim, but I didn't. And then we were debating. I mean, the instruction came along that we'll take him down to the Beis HaChaim through the same way he used to go in every morning to the Beis HaKnesset HaGodol, to the big shul, the great Breslov shul, through the alleys of the old city. And some of us were afraid that he might fall from the mita, so they said we better wrap, we tie with some ropes. I never felt comfortable to do that, but eventually that's what they did. And the Levaya started from Trisk all the way to the Kikar HaMaginim, down from his house, and went down the alleys to the Gan Hadash. So the artists called the alley where the artists, the galeriot are. It was raining, and we held the Rav kacha on our shoulders, And we came just overlooking the Beit HaKnesset HaGadol. We stopped over there by the alley, because there, before the Beit HaKnesset was built, for years we had a lot of obstacles to build the Beit HaKnesset. And when we used to come out from Shabbos, late Shabbos, from Shul to his house, as I mentioned before, he was looking at what the future Beit HaKnesset is going to be. For long minutes he was looking and looking, and so we stood over there, and then we went all the way to the Shul, and Rabbi Ephraim, that's what I said, Baruch Hashem shelo ishbit lanu goyel. And we have Rabbi Ephraim continues the legacy after the Rav Zatzal, after Rabbi Gedalia Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. So Rabbi Ephraim took a handkerchief and by spading, and he put the handkerchief on the steps underneath Aron HaKodesh, and he sat on it, and he started to say Kina. He says the Kina, that he was moaning and crying. And so Baruch Hashem, the legacy continues, the manhig continues. Before him is an outstanding teacher, also like an open book. You can see you like very clear. And very same thing, the same hanaga, the same strength. When you need to give you a spank, you get the spank. I was there just a month ago, after not being there a long time. And he was so happy to see me. Okay, I said, wow, Yofi. So I sat in the kitchen. He was doing his dishes. He started talking. Aron, you can't continue like this. You have to stop. If you're not going to stop, you're going to go. And who in the world can do that? Who can give us the direction? Who? Our wives? Who? The Chaverim in the Koilel? Who's going to give that? Punch on the head. It's worthwhile to come again, to get the spank, to get the tzaddikim are so loving, so full of love, and want us to go in the straight derech, in the straight path. So, Bezrat Hashem, we should always welcome you in Eretz Yisrael. The world is a little bit shaking, I hear. And as long as you can maybe get a little dira, I don't know, 50 square meters, somewhere in, I don't know, in Ashdod, it doesn't matter. And the Rabbi Ephraim is very inviting to everybody to come along, time is ticking, and Bezrat Hashem, we should be able to live Chaim Smeichim, Mushorim, a lot of simchas in the families, a lot of Emunas Chachamim, Avas Yisrael, Anava, Yiras Shamayim, as we learned from the Rav Zatzal, and to teach our children also to continue the legacy of Breslov Chassidim according to the book, according to the Rebbe's way, the Rebbe's legacy, and we will be coming of Mashiach, B'ezrat Hashem, very, very soon in our days. Amen.